Today, I would like to address an issue that has been super popular on the internet. It's just me ranting about something that pisses me the fuck off that is happening around the internet recently. So, without further ado, this is my letter to Miley Cyrus and to everyone who is talking about her. So, lots of people have been talking about on the internet and in the media and everywhere else that Miley Cyrus is a slut for her performance, her VMA performance, or for her Wrecking Ball video where she's naked, or We Can't Stop, or twerking, or her haircut, or how she chooses to dress, or what she chooses to say, and how she chooses to present herself to the world. This is what we call slut shaming. If you'd like to know what a definition of slut shaming is, I will tell you, my dear friend. Slut shaming is shaming or attacking a woman for being sexual, having sexual partners, acknowledging her sexuality and sexual feelings, and or acting on said feelings. Slut shaming is also attacking a woman on how she chooses to dress and act with the intent of making her feel belittled. You don't slut shame men ever. You only slut shame women. And this is frustrating because in a world in 2013, men and women should, this new generation of people are thinking it's okay to slut shame other ladies. And it's not okay. If I choose to wear my shirt off my shoulders today, does that make me a slut because I'm cutting off my shoulders? Or do I have to be wearing like really short shorts, or do I have to be wearing a crop top, or what do I have to be wearing to classify myself as slut? Did you know that being a slut means that you are sleeping with lots and lots and lots and lots of men, and you're publicizing it? Because Miley Cyrus is not doing that. I think she doesn't have a boyfriend right now, and if she does, no one really knows about it. If she's sleeping with anyone, she's not publicizing it. She's not sleeping with other people's boyfriends. So her being a slut is, you're using the term completely wrong. Also, who gives a shit if she's having sex? That is what we are born to do. You were made to mate. That is why we were born, so we can reproduce. And to reproduce, you have to have sex. So the human body is actually made to reproduce. That's why girls get your period. That's why guys get boners, so they can put it inside things and then ejaculate, and then babies are made. That's why this happens. So if Miley Cyrus wants to have sex, or if anyone else wants to have sex, that doesn't make them a slut, that makes them a human being either. And if these ladies want to take their tops off, I don't see why they can't take their tops off, because men can take their tops off all the time. Men are they're like told to take their tops off. Ladies all the time are like, take your top off, I want to see your six pack. Like, what about my six pack? You want to see my six pack? And then if I were to take my top off to show you guys my six pack, which is non-existent, but if I were to take my top off to show you my non-existent six-pack, I would be considered a slut because I took my top off. What society deems as a female role model is some girl that grows up like Disney Princess Fresh, and she's like, bam, look at me, blah, blah, blah. And then she grows up, and then she completely covers herself, and she doesn't talk shit, and she's very ladylike. Ladylike is a stereotype made by society. How come girls have to be polite, but guys, like, here's an example, like, what's his name? The weird looking one. Everyone likes him. Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator goes there and he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And everyone's like, oh my god, yes, what you said was so inspirational, you're right, fuck society. And Miley Cyrus comes out and she's like, boom, fuck society, fuck what people have to say. And everyone's like, that's not very ladylike, what a slut. It's like Miley Cyrus isn't a role model, because society tells us that role models have to be these prissy girls that say that society wants them to say, and says exactly what they're supposed to say, blah, 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 and that's what a role model is. Newsflash, society / internet world, a role model is someone that makes people, or at least in this situation, young girls, feel comfortable in their skin. And Miley Cyrus, in my own opinion, is completely a role model. Why, you may ask? Well, I don't know, because she doesn't abide by this cookie cutter society, what a girl should do, I'm a real girl, wear skirts, blah, 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 blah. She's like, hey, you know what? People that look up to me as a role model, it's totally okay for you to embrace your sexuality, embrace your body, and be comfortable being a sexual being, because we are all humans and we are all sexual beings. And if I want to rub my ass all up in Robin Thicke, and he's like, hey, look, people always people make the argument like he's standing up and she's like, oh, hunched over, so like he's the one in power. Don't know if you know this or not, but if he's getting a boner because of her, she's actually the one in control in that situation. He's not the one in control in that situation. And she's like, hey, you can take control of your sexual situations. You can feel like a sexual being, and it's totally okay, young girls. And people in society don't tell young girls that it's okay for them to feel like horny or to feel like a sexual being. People in society are like, keep that shit to yourself and don't tell me about it and don't tell your parents and don't talk about it in schools and don't talk about it to your friends because that is not socially acceptable. And Miley Cyrus is like, boom, I have tits and an ass and I'm hot as shit, and if I want to be sexual about things, I should be allowed to, because men are allowed to. Really quickly touch on the drug thing. People are like, oh my god, she's so bad because she does drugs. She's a 20-year-old female living in the United States. People that usually hit their drug phase, not celebrities, like actual human, high school, etc. people, hit their drug phase usually between the ages of like 12 and like 18. So Miley is technically a late bloomer in this situation. So you can fuck off with all that, oh my god, like she shouldn't be doing drugs, blah, 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 blah. She is 20 years old, she's a fully grown woman, and if she wants to do drugs, it's not your place to tell her what she should do with her life. Also, really, really quick, if she wants to wear revealing clothes, I say go for it. Embody your sexuality, and if you feel good wearing some sick leather, like pleather, spandex, whatever, skin tight nude suit, you rock the fuck out of that, because if that's what makes you happy and that's what makes you feel good about yourself, that's what we should be promoting, not how much skin you show or how much skin you don't show, and if that makes you a slut and if that makes you not a slut. What makes you a slut is having sex with a lot of men. And also, that shouldn't be a bad thing. Being a slut should not be a bad thing, but that's a completely other different video. That is slut shaming, and I will get to that on another moment in life. I think Miley Cyrus is a badass bitch, and I think that if you don't look up to her, you should just shut your face, because you don't have to. But you don't need to bash her either, because by bashing her, A, you're being anti-feminist, and B, you're a total fucking asshole, and obviously you've never done any of these things in your life. And if you're judging her because you're like a 12-year-old, you probably shouldn't be on the internet. And also, welcome to the real world.